Hi everyone, and welcome to your next lesson on Crime and Punishment Through Time. This week I'd like you to do something a little bit different. Your instructions are on the screen here. What I'd like you to do is to create revision materials on everything we've studied so far on medieval England. So that's everything from the year 1000 to the year 1500. Now underneath that you can see my instructions a bit more clearly. I'd like you to make notes on the Anglo-Saxons and the Normans and the later medieval period, and for each one you need to consider the crimes, the punishments, the trials and the law enforcement. Now when you finished your task you will have produced something that looks like that. So you can see here that there are different colours for crimes, punishments, trials and law enforcement. And within each one you can see there are sections on the Anglo-Saxons and the Normans and the later medieval period where relevant. And that is what I would like you to produce. So how do you go about that? Well, first of all, if you've got an A3 sheet of paper, you can use that and simply split it into the 4 sections: crimes, punishments, law enforcement and trials. If you haven't, I've put at the top there, you can just use 4 separate A4 sheets instead. So if we zoom in a little bit more, you can see within each period what I'd like you to do is to split it. I don't mind whether you do columns or rows, but split each one into those 3 periods. So Anglo-Saxons, Normans and later medieval, as you can see I have done there. Now I'm going to zoom in to crimes, okay? So this would be your crimes section, and you can see I've chosen a particular colour for crimes, and I've split it into Anglo-Saxons, Normans and later medieval. Now I've just made a start here, but what I've added is information like forest laws, murder and fines, rebellions, and what I'd like you to do is to put the information you've learned over the last few weeks now into the correct columns. But in this case, remember, just focus on the crimes. Once you've done that, you then repeat the same task 4 times. So in this case, I've chosen purple for my punishments. And again, I've split them into Anglo-Saxon, Normans and later medieval. And I've looked at things like corporal punishment, capital punishment, virgild and murder and fine. Next, we look at law enforcement, and again I've chosen a different colour to represent law enforcement, and I've looked at ideas such as tithings, hue and cry, and then later on things like the use of the night watch and the knights and the justices of the peace. And finally, my section on trials, again a 4th and different colour, split into the same columns, and again just looking at the development of trials. So from here where we have benefit of clergy and sanctuary, through to trial by combat, through to trial by jury. So you can see the progress and the changes happening. So just a quick reminder then, what you're looking to produce is something like that. Either on 1 A3 sheet of paper or 4 separate sheets of paper. Don't forget to use colour, don't forget to summarise, and don't forget to add as many specific facts as you can. Then you will be ready to move on to the next period in Crime and Punishment Through Time. Thank you.